There's something that we don't like to talk about, and that's envy, especially when it comes from family members, especially when it comes from friends, when it comes from colleagues at work. Sometimes we tend to assume that we can deal with that kind of envy that we already see. You would definitely know someone that is jealous of you. You would know somebody that is envious of you. You would definitely know this person does not like what you have in your life. They don't like your successes. There is this story that has been trending online for a while now. And it is about Shanquella Robinson. And before I can talk about Shanquella's story, let me say the only book, the Bible, says this about envy. Proverbs 14:30 says, "A tranquil heart is life to the body, but envy rots the bones." So it shows the seriousness of envy by relating it with something that will rot the bones. You know, even if you slaughtered a cow, the only thing that remains are bones, and bones are so hard to decompose. So the seriousness of envy is something that will decompose the bone, and it is equivalent to what we would say, something that can take away everything, your life and everything. It not only affects the people that you are envying, but also the person, you yourself, who are doing the envy, because it makes you to resent and create a deep hole in your heart that has so much resentment and hate for what others have that you don't have. Shanquella Robinson had 6 friends. She happened to go to Mexico with them from America for a holiday. And one of the friends, out of the resentment that she had kept in that deep hole in her heart, used it, beat Shanquella to death. As the boyfriend watched and as the boyfriend asked Shanquella, "Are you not going to defend yourself?" So for him, he was there fueling the fight. Shanquella never fought back. She was beaten to death by the so-called friend in presence of other friends. Is it possible that you can have 6 people resent on you? And the answer to that question is a very big yes. You can have a group of people around you, fake friends, that can actually resent on you and be so envious of you. You know, we don't know how to recognize envy. And when we see it, we don't know how to tell it is envy sometimes. When you have so many people around you resenting on you, you always think probably something is wrong with you as a person. But that is not always the case. In fact, I would be very careful with people that thinks I am the wrong one, I am the bad one. For them to start that conversation of blaming another person that this person has a problem, they themselves should sit down and look at their hearts and find out what is wrong with them, because the Bible tells us, you see the speck on another person's eye, you don't see on yours, the log on yours. So there is definitely something wrong with someone that resents on another. For you, for example, to be my friend, I must have given you the permission to be my friend. I must vet you. And the moment I notice that there is something about your loyalty, there is something about you that does not add up, you don't say the truth, I don't spend a single minute without speaking you. That's me. So it could be that Shanquella was not in a position to take this envy seriously, because maybe she didn't understand the depth of it. Shanquella was very successful, and maybe everything was just going very well for her. Her friends couldn't take it up. I wouldn't even call these people friends, because a friend is somebody that has your back. Someone that will tell you, and someone that will not go behind your back. Let me tell you, there are people that don't know how to be friends. And you would know them because they would say things about you to others. One thing is that when you choose people to be around you, you've got to listen to everything, critically analyze it, and don't leave any detail behind. It is such an unfortunate thing that this happened to Shanquella. It is a very sad story, and justice for her is already being found. 6 people planned how to take away the life of one person, and those 6 people called themselves friends. And then they began giving different stories to the mother, from alcohol poisoning to whatever thing that they wanted to just give as a reason to blame her for her own loss of life, so that they can come out clean. But that never happened because the FBI got involved. So my people, before your envy finally consumes you, look at it. If you are that kind of a person that will envy another person because they have achieved something you have not been in a position to achieve, instead of you getting or becoming friends with that person to know how they achieved it, you begin to resent on them because they have what you don't have. It is time you looked at yourself, because that envy will not only affect the person you are envying, but also yourself. You who is resenting, it will consume you, and consume you in a very bad way, because those 6 friends will spend life in prison. They will serve lifetime because they are all accomplices. Before you go joining people to start resenting on somebody, you don't know exactly what the true nature of the story behind them. Think twice. Don't go around joining groups of people to envy another person or to resent on somebody and collect. We have that problem in our Black community. We have that problem, and it is there. I'm talking about the Black community because I'm so familiar with the Black community and what happens around us. And no wonder that's why we speak so much about witchcraft. Because witchcraft is simply a person being envious and going behind your back to build your downfall. I don't know how to even say, to destroy you. That's how come we have so many fake pastors in Africa, so many fake people pretending to be your friends only for convenience sake. We don't want to face the reality that we can have family members in our families that are envious of us. We don't want to face that reality. We don't want to think critically about our brothers and sisters that show signs of envy. We want to cover it up because of what? Because they are our sisters, they are our brothers, because he's your husband, he's your wife, because they are your... We don't want to face that reality. And so many people have lost their lives, both in Africa and in diaspora, because of envy. My people, the disease of the bones. Envy. And because we like it so much to have so many people around us, some of whom don't even serve any purpose in our lives. We don't know how to have friends that are healthy, that are mentally sound, that are working towards common things as us. We want to have everybody being our friends. I'm not saying that is what happened to Shanquella, but I'm just trying to draw lessons from this story because it's a deep story. This is just one case because Shanquella was somebody that was known. What about the ones that are not known by anybody? What about you as a person who is struggling with people that are pretending to be friends? You know, let me tell you something before I conclude this video. In the diaspora, and this happens a lot, you find people, what unites you most times is when all of you are struggling at the same level. You find that, for example, you were students and then you are now at the time of looking for a job, and you have to do all these other type of jobs that are mostly manual in nature to survive as you look for a better job. So if you happen to be, if God blesses you and you get a job, let me say that, you tend to attract a lot of resentment from all these other people that didn't get a job, and they will turn against you. Let me tell you, in a way that you will never believe exactly what happened. You know, sometimes if you are not careful, you will think that you have a problem, but that's not the truth. The truth is that you've got something that they have been looking for, and they've not gotten it. That's why when you are among the diaspora community, you ask people, how did you get that job? And they will tell you it's just God. Because they don't usually feel that they were lucky enough to get that job, of course, which is luck and it's a blessing at the same time. And instead of the people that are surrounding that person to try to seek out how they actually got that job, how they were able to apply, how they even wrote the motivation letter, how they organized their CV, they begin to resent deeply. So much resentment that you always end up feeling out of place. And there is what we would call blackmail at the same time. They begin to gossip you. They begin to talk about everything nasty about it. They begin to look at that part of your life that is not working and prey on it. You know, people that you met, you don't even have a clue where they come from. You don't know them. They don't know you. Resent on you so bad, so that you feel out of place and you no longer feel like you fit among them. So you have to live enjoying the people that are doing similar things as you for you to be able to survive. If you're not in a position to be able to see that, let me tell you, some of them will come and prey on your relationships. They will prey on it so bad so that it will never work. In fact, if you don't have a strong partner, you see like what was happening to Shanquella. The boyfriend was there asking Shanquella, won't you fight back, Shanquella? That guy was supposed to support Shanquella and fight the lady or protect him. In fact, what should have happened is that lady should never have laid hands on Shanquella in the presence of the boyfriend. But the boyfriend was on the side of the fake friends. So it was all fake. May they all rot in jail. To be honest, for such people like that, you don't even wish them anything better than let them learn their lesson the hard way. Envy is a disease. The Bible says it. You see people resenting on you and you can't tell exactly how you offended them. Be careful with such people and don't feel anything. Don't even waste your 1 minute if you realize that there are people around you that cannot be loyal to you, that cannot be real people, that cannot be friends. Leave that space. It is not yours. That is a space of people that are full of resentment, envious people, people that have nothing in this life to look for except to resent on others for their achievements. There are people who don't know how to work hard, and they are there in the family, they are out here as friends, they call themselves your friends, and they pretend. And let me tell you, people pretending the pretend doesn't go far. And let me give you a story of mine. I had a friend once. She was a lady. She had a family. I was always there for her when she needed me. I remember there are times she always had a son that was not feeling well, and I was always running with her to the hospital, even in the wee hours of the night. My people, it only took once to know. I could see signs, because I remember there's a time I told her, please, could you help me make my hair? She knew how to make hair. She always refused. In fact, I realized the friendship was just one way. She would come to my house. I would ask her, can I just give you something to drink? She wouldn't accept it. She would pretend to be in a hurry. I used to take it lightly. There's another time I told her, she knew how to do eyebrows. Those days before I knew how to do eyebrows. I told her, please, could you help me shave my eyebrows? She refused. She couldn't do it for me. She told me she cannot. But all along, I was always there for her when she needed anything. In fact, in the night of our wedding, I never slept. I organized fully her wedding. My story with that lady is a huge story I cannot explain in one video. I will bring it much later in this channel. But there's one thing that I want to tell you about that lady that happened that taught me that all these red flags I had seen the red flags, and I had had conversations, things that I had told her in confidence. I had heard them from other people. And I decided to keep quiet, slowly to withdraw from our own conversations. She kept telling me things about other people, and I kept looking at her. And one of my friends actually told me, this lady has a problem. I used to call her my very best friend. She was my friend. To be honest, I was genuine in the relationship. But when I got a job, she didn't have a job. The resentment now increased. I could see it. It became obvious. In fact, I met someone that I don't even know how to tell it. I don't want to tell the whole story. But to conclude it all, one time it just happened. And I knew she was waiting for me. We had an altercation. And it was about her trying to advise me about something that I went to confirm from the person that had given her the advice to come and advise me. The way she turned around, the kind of voice recordings she sent me, I still keep them until today. I never believed they came from her, but I knew she wasn't a good person. I was looking for that one particular point where I would be in a position to confirm her genuineness. It came out, the resentment. She even told me, I don't have to be your friend. So much resentment. I saw the envy. The envy and the need to want to compete. It was so open. It's like I had opened a can of worms. And I was ready for it because it had taken a while for me to reach that point. I never keep people that I cannot be sure of who they are in my life. And I don't feel anything about it when I close that door. Because anytime I become your friend, I dedicate every single minute, time and resources on you as a friend. But the moment I realize you cannot be a friend, I shut that door so loudly so that you will know I shut it. That's me. Not because I don't have a point of where I say, now I'm forgiving. No, it's just because I have tolerated and I have seen you are not the kind of a person that can be a friend to anybody. In fact, that lady, as I went to be her friend, she was always alone. She never had anybody around her. I used to wonder why, but I wanted to know for myself why. That moment I was able to confirm what everybody thought about her. I looked around because I thought maybe some people were envious of her, but I realized it was nothing about envy. There was no envy. It was all about her personality. She was an envious person, full of deep resentment against other people. People that are envious will always make you feel like you're the one that is envious of them. So you have to be very careful with people. Watch the red flags. They are always there. In fact, a true friend will always dedicate an equal amount of time as you dedicate to them. Let me tell you. A genuine person that is your friend will never turn around and say nasty things about you to others. They will remain faithful to you. Even if you told them your secret, they will never talk about it to any other person. That story of that lady, I will bring it one time in future. When I'm ready, I will bring it here, my people. But let me tell you one thing. Don't take people that you met out there as your alpha and omega. When I say that, what do I mean? Don't take them too seriously. Critically analyze them and their actions, their words and everything they say to you and about you. Their actions, their everything. Please make sure you always analyze it bit by bit. Once you realize somebody is so envious of you, because envy is described in the Bible as the disease of the bone, as I read for you earlier on, shut that door and open door for people that are genuine. Let me tell you, we are so many people, 7 billion people in the world. There is no one reason why you cannot get a new friend out of the 7 billion. Every single day, if it's all about friends you wanted, you can make so many friends. The ones that you've already named that are genuine, take care of them. Because friendship, true friendship, is hard to find. Personally, I have 3 friends, good friends, loyal to the truth, that I always say, they are the pillar of my, I would say they are the pillar of my strength, but I would say they come to my side when I need them. And I go to their side when they need me. And it has been like that for over 10 years. My friends over decades. In fact, these are some of the very first friends that you say you make. Decades. At least 2 decades now. Let me tell you one thing, my people. Don't accept low standards from anyone. If somebody cannot respect you, if they cannot treat you well, shut that door. It is that simple. Because this poor treatment always comes from a place of envy. It comes from a place of resentment. Whether it is family, sister and brother, we do know that in the Bible, Cain killed Abel. They were brothers. So stop thinking and walking around feeling like your sister, your brother cannot be envious of you and cannot harm you. This is the mentality that we have in Africa, that our brothers and sisters are the best thing that happened to us. They are the best thing that happened to us only if they are still with us in our course of journey of this life. If they support it and they are happy for you to progress. In Africa, we still talk about witchcraft because envy is too much. My people, I don't want to make this video longer than it is now, because this story about envy is a long one. But let's be careful. Let's watch out. Friends relatives, and people that are around us that don't add value. Shake them off fearlessly. That's all I think it is to learn from this Shanquella story. And may God rest our soul in eternal peace. May the God of mercy help the FBI and the people that are working, and the parents, the ones that are working towards justice, be able to get justice. And may all these friends be jailed, because that's the only way to put it that makes sense.